Hey everyone. My name is Lily Pruitt and I am the TPI graduate assistant. So in December, like Erica said, I did the first 20-ish programs that I found. So if you have not watched that video and you're interested in some other resources that we don't talk about today, that video will be linked as well. So today we're just going to look through the second half of these resources. There's about 24 of the resources we're going to look through today, and I'm just going to give you a brief overview, but I'll make sure that we link these slides so you're able to go and explore these more in depth if there's any that you're interested in. Okay, so first, I talked about this in the last one, but all the resources that I am linking are aligned to some standards. Some are NGSS, some are Common Core, but some are also Alabama Course of Study. But today, I also wanted to link these Alabama Course of Study STEM, science, math, and technology. So for the ones that are not linked directly to Alabama Course of Study, I'll show you a good way to figure out which one you can link it to. So on this one, my content is science. I'm getting my master's in science education. So that is the course of study I'm most comfortable with. So that's the one that I will show you an example of. So are you able to see my screen where it switched to the new page?
Yes, it's loaded.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna let it load for just a second. Okay. I think it is loaded now. Okay, good. So for the course of study, if there's standards that aren't directly linked to the Alabama course of study, then you can find a keyword from that other standard and easily just Command F and search into this document. So if I search energy, it will show me everywhere in this document that it says energy. And then that way you can read through these and see which standard is most similar to that other standard. So that is one easy way to transfer it from one to the other. But most of these resources are linked to either Alabama Course of Study or NGSS, which we'll look at in just a second. Okay. Okay, and then you're back on the PowerPoint with me? Yes, okay. Okay, so all those will be linked. Like I said, there's the STEM link, science, math, and technology. So there's different standards for all of those. So then there is the Alabama Learning Exchange. So we also talked about this one a little bit in the last one, but this one has some really good learning resources. So I wanted to include it in this one as well. So this one has classroom resources, learning activities, lesson plans, and unit plans. So it has a lot of resources that are ready for you to use in your classroom. And this one's great because it contains standards for all the academic programs that are listed in the Alabama Course of Study. And they also offer professional resources to teachers with conferences and virtual learning through the Teacher Growth Program. So that link that I have at the top will take you to all the information about that you'll be able to access when we send this out. Okay, and then there is the next generation science standards. So these are other standards that have become more common in the past couple years. So these standards include critical thinking and communication skills that are important for students, and they lay out disciplinary core ideas, science and engineering practices, and cross-cutting concepts. So these standards you can also link back to the Alabama Course of Study standards if this is what a program is based on. Okay, and then this is informalscience.org. So this one has a collection of 8,000 free resources. This is a good hub for STEM resources because it's specifically aligned to informal science community. So it is directed for things like after school programs. So on this website, it has project descriptions, research projects, and evaluation reports. And so I attached the link. I do think their website is undergoing a few changes. So it might be a few days before it gets back up to what it looks like on this picture, but you'll have access to this and be able to see all of this once they get back on their website platform. And then there's project-based learning, which is a pretty popular topic these days. So this is the teaching method in which students learn by engaging in real-world projects. So I think this is also great for an after-school program because it allows students to work on a project for an extended period of time, and they're able to work on a real world problem. They have a task, a process, a product, and a reflection. So it really lets them get into learning without feeling like they're just doing something boring. Like they get to really be creative in a hands-on way. And so it's very student-centered and collaborative. And in project-based learning, the teacher acts as a facilitator and guides the students. So this is also a great way to give some students some independence in their learning. Okay, and then these are the gold standards for project-based learning. So the one in orange and red and yellow, these are the essential design elements. So this one is what students should be doing, learning, and experiencing in a good project. So a well-planned project, students will have a challenging problem or question, and they go through inquiry processes. They have a voice and a choice in what they're doing, but it also involves reflection, critique, and then they present it somehow. So it can be a creative variety of ways that students are presenting this. And then the teaching practices, it aligns to standards, you design and plan, you're engaging and coaching, and you're scaffolding, and it's more about management and facilitating. Okay, then there's web-based inquiry science environment. So this one has free standards aligned curriculum, and this one addresses the NGSS standards that I linked to in the beginning. But there's many interactive scientific models for grades 6 through 12. And each lesson, you can click on it and it will show you the duration of that unit and the standard. So you can see in this picture an example of one of the units. And there's things like videos, quizzes, teaching tools, notebooks, and discussions. So there is lots of different resources on this website. Then there's Lego Robotics. You've probably heard of this. So this is for grades K through 8, and there's teacher resources that come with these kits. So it allows you to explore lessons and some professional development on these specific lessons. And these unit plans are actually supported by NGSS and the Alabama Course of Study. And each unit contains the lessons that are broken down into the 5 E's. So that's the engage, explore, explain, elaborate, and evaluate. So it breaks it down into all those things to make sure students are engaging in a student-led activity. And the robotics also provides the teacher support, the standards, and all the student material that they will need. Then there's vocabulary. This is really popular in schools that I've been in recently. So they have a ton of different standards aligned video lessons and activities. So for each lesson, they have a video, and there's lots of different ways that they teach the content to the students. So they use hip hop, storytelling, and humor. So it's a good way to get the students engaged. They also have vocab cards, a vocab game, a break it down section, a read and respond, a quiz, and a lyric lab. So there's lots of different steps students can go through. And for an after school program, they could skip around in these steps. They don't have to go through all of it. They can go through what is interesting to them or any of the things that you have access to, what's easiest for you to do in your program. And then there's the Cornell Environment Inquiry Lab. So this one promotes active learning through hands-on experiences, and they have lots of support for teachers trying this out for the first time. And there's lots of student resources, different publications you can look at on this website, and it provides the curriculum materials as well. And this is also on that same website, but this one's about birds. And so it allows students to experiment and investigate all about different birds. So this is something if you have a kid who's interested in different animals. So they have lessons and activities for grades K through 12. So most programs don't have all the grades. So this one's pretty cool that it has something for grades K through 12, but it also offers professional development, and they have kits that go along with the curriculum units. And it's also aligned to the Alabama Course of Study standards. Then there's the Great Explorations in Math and Science. So they have more than 70 teacher guides and handbooks with lots of hands-on activities, and it's laid out for you and it's all ready to go. And the modules are available to you. So they have topics in chemistry, math, physical science, ecology, environment, ocean science, animals, and this is grade pre-K through 8. So they have lots of different options on this website. And then this one is Ellipsis Education. This is a computer science curriculum. Excuse me. There's free resources for this computer science and lesson plans with all the materials and standards that you need. So this resource really breaks it all down if computer science is something that you're interested in bringing into your program. And when you click on this link, you can choose which grade, and it has resources for each grade individually. So it's really cool how it separates it out with the pacing guides, the maps, and then support for each one. So like I said, each grade level has different curriculum, so it's super easy to break it down for different age groups. And then Better Lesson, these are lesson plans from master teachers, and the master teachers have been teaching for many years. They have to get certified to be the master teachers, and it includes all kinds of lessons. So math, English language arts, science, and then blended videos. And there's also a professional development link on this website. And this one's aligned with the Common Core standards, but you can see in this picture, they really break down the purpose, the learning outcomes, the prep time, the duration, the materials, and an overview. And this is just the front page. And then they provide more information as well. So this also provides a lot of information for easy lesson plans that you can incorporate. And then you won't have to spend that time making the lesson plan, but instead incorporating it into your program and making it interesting for the students. And then AMSTI, this emphasizes the mastery of all standards addressed in the Alabama Course of Study Science. So this is directly related to those standards, and it is a vision for the K through 12 that includes the student participation. So it's big on student-led activities. And then there is Engineering is Elementary. So this one is also aligned with the Alabama Course of Study. And each unit has resources that will just take you through each step as a teacher that you would need. So there's a teacher guide, a storybook, materials that you can print. There's teaching support, a kit for with all the materials in it, and there's a lot more. And so I linked at the bottom to the different units. If you're interested in just one unit, you could go and look at the kits provided in that unit. And then there's Teach Engineering. This has a free curriculum, and it's aligned with the NGSS standards. And I attached the STEM curriculum link to show what it offers for the STEM. And each unit shows the grade level, the amount of lessons in that unit, and the subject areas, and it's based on the engineering design process. So if you haven't heard about the engineering design process, it's in that little picture on the right. So it's all about asking a question, researching the problem, imagining solutions, planning, creating, testing, and then improving and redesigning if you need to. So all about testing what students have, and they can always improve it. They need to fail to figure out what to do and how to improve. And then each lesson also has a quick look with the grade level, time, subject areas, and NGSS performance expectations and standards. Okay, then there's gizmos. This is something that I'm really familiar with. We use this in the classrooms that I've been in. So these have interactive STEM simulations, and this is great if students have a one-on-one device or as a teacher demo. So I've done it both ways, and it works great with both because you can go through just about any topic you can think of, you can go through it. So one topic that I did and used this a gizmo is flower dissection. And so it will take you through each part of the flower and allow the student to dissect the flower into different parts. So this is something that's great for students to see hands-on things and see what it would look like in real life without bringing in the messy materials. Or it's a great thing if you wanted to do something like a flower dissection, do it before you get the flower so the students are aware of what they're going to be doing. And so this one has an educator resource hub. So when you get to this educator resource hub, you will have the lesson plan to follow, and you'll have the student sheet with the student answers, and it gives you a whole lesson around the gizmo. So it's not just the gizmo, but it'll tell you what you should do before the gizmo so you can get the students engaged, and then what you should do after to see what the students learned from that gizmo. So like I said, this is great if the student does it one-on-one with their own device, or if you do it a demonstration, it's both effective both ways. And then this is STEMfinity. So this is a hands-on resource for pre-K through 12, and it includes things like STEAM, robotics, 3D printing, drone technology, computer science, and more. And they have a specific link just for after-school supplies. So this is a great resource if you want to click on here and look through the different kits that they offer and resources they offer. There's lots of things that are ready for the students to use and different things that they might not have access to, like drone technology and robotics, some things that students would really be interested in. And then there's Discover Engineering. They have a whole list of their featured activities, and it aims to improve students' understanding through these shared STEM experiences. And then there's the Concord Consultorium. This has free STEM resources, and registering for a free teacher account provides you with access to all of this. So you can create classes, assign activities, save work, track student progress. You can do all this with just a free student account. So here's a picture of one of the activities that they have. And there's I attached the resource finder and the models and simulations. So it's easy to find on there. And then there's A World in Motion. This is bringing STEM concepts to life for students, and this is also available for preschool to 12th grade. They have a kit order form. If this is something that you look at and you're interested in, you can order these kits, and it would provide you with a curriculum with adaptable lesson plans that you can change with what you have, classroom materials, standards alignment, and a training and support. So you would be prepared through this kit order to lead this in your classroom. And then there's Amplify. This is a science curriculum for grades K through 8, and it's organized around a whole year of instruction of units. So this is something that will provide you a lot of different options to choose from, because you're obviously not going to go through a whole year's worth of instruction just on this Amplify Science. But you can pick and choose what you think the kids would be interested in or what they need more material of. So each unit includes instructional guidance and student materials, and it also has the teacher guides, the kits, the investigation notebooks, digital student experience, and then I attached the product page where you can purchase these kits. And this also addresses the NGSS standards, and it integrates all 4 of the STEM disciplines. So that's really neat because a lot of these don't incorporate all 4, and this one makes sure to incorporate all 4 of these disciplines. Okay, and then there's Newsella. This has articles, scaffolds, standards line, writing prompts, and flexible assignments for students. That is just the free version. Then they have versions that you pay for, and it adds admin content controls and chat support. And then the Newsela Science is science tech, science videos, and then lesson suggestions. So you can look through that on that link. And if that's something you're interested in, there's lots of different options. And then NSTA, the National Science Teaching Association, is great for its lessons, articles, books, and journals. So they have lots of articles. If you want to learn more about management or any of the different things like providing inquiry and after school programs, it's super easy to search up a word of what you're interested in, and it provides you with tons of different resources. And the membership for the NSTA is great to do professional development on your own, but it also, you can filter the search for just lesson plans if that's all that you're interested in, and it will show you tons and tons of lesson plans on whatever subject you're interested in. So I link to the lesson plans on this website. Then there's Science World magazine. So these are pretty popular. So these are grades 6 through 10, and each magazine includes science news and STEM news. So this is $5.99 per student, and the student would get 5 issues. And there would be print and digital resources and an online archive. So this is pretty cool if the students would be interested in this, to even just have out for students to do during this after school program. They have activities typically inside each one that relate to whatever it's talking about, so they can read it and then do a crossword about what they read, things like that. So that keeps students engaged with what's happening in the real STEM world. And that also let you try a free digital sample. And these standards kits come with every text. So there's also inquiry-based lesson plans and pacing guides for what is in each magazine. So each magazine might have a different kit that comes with it to perform this activity. So this link will show you more about what that $5.99 per student would include. Okay, then there's STEM in a box. So this contains everything you need to incorporate STEM into your program. So this is a great resource. So it has pre-K through high school curriculum. I just screenshotted a picture of the teacher guide for grade 6 through 8 because that's what I'm familiar with. But they're also standards aligned. And I put that link in there for ready to go STEM programs for purchase. And they have so many different options of different boxes you can purchase, from small ones to huge ones. That would be enough for a whole year. So the programs have a year of weekly STEM lessons. That's one of the options. And so there's unique lessons for 30 plus weeks of 60 instructional minutes per week. That's another option. So there's lots of different options in there. So if you're interested in something that's just going to come in and be ready to go, this is a great option, and you can choose between so many different concepts. Okay, and then there's this Feel Good Teaching YouTube channel. This provides STEM activities in 30 minutes or less, and it's a resource for all educators who want to use STEM challenges in their classrooms. So anything that students can do in 30 minutes or less that's going to engage them in these STEM activities, and it's a challenge, so it brings the students' competitive nature and gives them some interesting things to do. So in these links for the different YouTubes, it includes the how-to posts, the tips, and the challenge walkthroughs. So just watching these videos can show you how to do these things. And a lot of these STEM activities are things you can do with materials that you probably already have. Okay, so I kind of just flew through that, but we went through 24 different STEM programs that you can use during your after school program. So let me know if you have any questions about any of these things. Does anyone have any questions? Or does anyone have any resources that they use that they think would be beneficial for someone else in the Zoom who's looking to learn more about these STEM programs?
A lot of these were some great resources. A lot of them I remember using when I was a program director. Engineering is elementary. I actually did a lot of their like research stuff with my students. So they would send me kits of free resources. I think right before COVID, I was gearing up to go to, I think they're in Boston or something, for some in-person training with them also. So they're a really, really good resource that aligns with the standards. I thought you had some good options. And we will post the PowerPoint on the website, and then we'll link the PowerPoint to the YouTube page so that y'all can have access. I'll also have Lily create just a document where she shares all of the links where y'all could easily receive those. So I will send out the links on Friday. The document will be forthcoming. And if y'all have any ideas for other STEM PDs that you would like, please let us know. We want to kind of create some STEM options for y'all. I have some curriculums already ready, at least so y'all can have it and ready to go. And we can do some quick STEM sessions with y'all PD so you can, get it and go. It doesn't have to be an all night, all afternoon type of thing. So let me or Lily know if y'all have any needs for that. And if you are not receiving Lily's STEM newsletter, please let her know. Lily, can you pop your email back up to make sure that they get it? Because you can send Lily an email and she can add you to the listserv, or you can pop it in the chat box, either one.
I'll send it in the chat box.
All right, that is it. If y'all have any questions, please let us know. Y'all have a good afternoon.